So the MX Guardian DLC shotgun is completely broken and is available to unlock for free as part of the Modern Warfare 2 Season 4 Reloaded update. It works best for close range engagements and it is set up to be better than the KV broadside shotgun, so it's going to be very, very good indeed. So here is the new fastest way to unlock the MX Guardian shotgun in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone for Season 4 Reloaded. And there'll be timestamps in the description if you want to jump to a specific part, but without further ado, let's dive straight in. So unlocking this weapon in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone is actually a little bit different from how we unlock other weapons. So normally we just do a challenge to unlock the weapon, and it's as simple as that. For this weapon it's slightly different. So basically unlocking the MX Guardian shotgun involves the mysterious classified sector on the battle pass. Now the classified sector is in the top left corner of the battle pass map, and it's been locked since the start of Season 4, but now with the Season 4 Reloaded update it's available to access with 5 new items available to unlock. Now to get access to the classified sector you have to have completed at least one adjacent sector. So for example this could be sector 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, so at least one of those. And then unlike traditional battle pass sectors, this classified sector gives the 5 items by completing challenges rather than earning with battle pass tokens. So you've got to do these 5 challenges to unlock those items from that classified sector. Now the MX Guardian DLC shotgun is unlocked, it's like the main reward from the sector, by earning the 4 other rewards from the classified sector. So let's talk about what those rewards are, how you get them, and therefore how you get the shotgun. We're going to talk about how to unlock it in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone as well. So obviously, like I said, the overall main reward for this classified sector is the MX Guardian, which you get by earning all sector rewards. Then there's also the dependable emblem, for which you need to get 10 aim down sight operator kills with shotguns. We've got the gunfire calling cards, and to unlock this you need to get 10 hipfire operator kills with shotguns. We've then got the fanning hutch loading screen, for which you need to get 10 headshot operator kills with shotguns. And finally there's a 1 hour double weapon XP token up for grabs, and to unlock this you need to get 10 one-shot operator kills with shotguns. So basically what it's saying is if you get 10 aim down sight kills, 10 hipfire kills, 10 headshots and 10 one-shot kills with shotguns, you will unlock those 4 rewards, and therefore you'll get the MX Guardian shotgun. Obviously you can also unlock this via DMZ if you happen to find the weapon, or someone can drop it for you and then you exfil, so that's another way to do it as with every other weapon, but obviously that's going to be a lot more difficult at the moment because it's just come out. So let's quickly talk about the best class setup, the modes, and then the tips for each of these challenges, and then we'll talk about how to do it in Warzone as well. For the class setup you can put on any shotgun you like. I've gone for the KV broadside because it's good, but you can put on whatever one you want because it's great at close range. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the attachments for like one all-round class, but feel free to modify it for each challenge because you might need slightly different attachments, but because there's only 10 kills you need for each type, it's so small you might as well just try and get it with that class if you can. So we've got the following attachments for the KV broadside. We put on the X10 modified choke, which gives you tighter pellet spread and improved damage range. We've got the ZLR Sport 8, which improves your damage range, hipfire accuracy and recoil control. We've then got the Hipshot L20, which improves the hip recoil control and hipfire accuracy, the Dashbolt 60, which improves the fire rate, and finally we've got the Bruin Warrior Grip, which improves the hipfire accuracy and hip recoil control as the main benefits. So these are good attachments. Mainly it's like a hipfire class, and it may seem weird why we're building it for hip firing, but I'll explain in a minute. Obviously that doesn't take care of like the aim down sight kills, but it's only 10, but we'll talk about that in just a second. For the perks I've put on the following 4. So we've got Battle Hardened, which reduces the effect of tactical equipment, Tracker, which means enemies leave behind a footprint trail, Fast Hands, so you can reload your weapon faster, and Quick Fix, which means killing players immediately triggers health regeneration, and going for objectives increases the health regeneration rate. Then for the equipment, for the tactical you want to put on a stim or stun, and lethal you can just ignore that for now. And then for the field upgrade, put on something like Dead Silence, so you can run around the map a little bit easier. Then for the score streaks, put on wherever you want, but I'd recommend something like UAV, Counter UAV and Advanced UAV, just to kind of help you find where enemies are to get more kills. Okay, so that's the class setup. What modes would I recommend? Well, it depends when you're playing. If you're playing when Season 4 Reload has just come out, there's going to be the Vondel Waterfront 24/7 Mosh Pit, which is the new 6v6 map for Season 4 Reloaded, and it's a smaller map that's taken from Vondel basically. So that might be okay. Alternatively, they'll probably have something like a close quarters playlist as well with lots of small maps like Farm 18, Shoot House, that kind of thing. Alternatively, if you're playing when Shipment or Shoot House is around, or a variant of one of those modes, I would go for that because it's going to be a lot easier. So if you can go for Shipment or Shoot House, if you've got something like a close quarters playlist or the new Vondel Waterfront 6v6 map, that's absolutely fine too. Okay, so now we know the class setup and what modes to go for, let's talk about each challenge in turn and what tips guys can give you to get these kills done faster. So first up, to unlock the dependable emblem, we need to get 10 aim down sight operator kills with shotguns. So this is very easy. Obviously you just aim down sight with the shotgun and get 10 kills, so you just want to spam the trigger to fire as quickly as possible. This will overlap very easily with other challenges that you're doing, especially the shotgun one-shot kills. So just ignore this one for now and you'll unlock it naturally. naturally. There's nothing you need to go for. What I would say is obviously, like I said, the class setup is built for hip firing, so it should be fine just get 10 kills, but if you're struggling, change the attachments so it's less about hip firing and more about aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Next up, we've got the fanning hutch loading screen as a reward, and to unlock this we need to get 10 headshot operator kills with shotguns, so basically getting 10 shotgun headshots. Now I'd recommend overlapping this challenge with the hipfire kills to get both done faster. It may sound a bit strange, but I'll explain why. So what are my tips for getting shotgun headshots? Well, I'd say people often struggle with getting shotgun headshots because it does so much damage up close that you might often hit their torso or their legs, and therefore you're not necessarily going to get a headshot. But with this method I'm going to give you guys, it's particularly easy. We've got a laser on our weapon, so use that laser to highlight where your shotgun's actually pointing, and using the attachments with tighter pellet spread like I've done means it's more likely your shots will hit the head and not elsewhere on the body. So the class setup alone will help with that. But the best way to get a headshot, I would say, is not aiming down sight, it's actually hip firing. So what I do is you want to line up the crosshairs of the shotgun so that only about the bottom 20% of the crosshair is overlapping the enemy's head, i.e. 80% of the crosshair for the shotgun is facing above the enemy towards the sky. That way, if your pellet hits the enemy, they'll only land on their head, and therefore if they die, it will be a headshot and only a headshot. It can be quite difficult to get used to at first, but you can easily pick up on this after, a few headshots, and I'll try and show you what I mean. By the end of it, you'll be getting loads of them. So basically, all you want to do is aim the crosshairs so they're only overlapping the head a little bit and the rest is in the sky, and therefore if any pellets hit the body, it's going to be on the head, and therefore you're going to get a headshot. Now, you can also get really close to enemies and aim down sight of their head, but you risk shooting them in the neck or torso, so a headshot won't count. Hence, you want to, if you are doing this, compensate by aiming a little higher than you usually would to avoid shooting them in the torso. You'll know when you get a headshot due to the unique sound. It's like a high-pitched noise, sounds like a plane taking off, and if you do that, you will easily get yourself the 10 headshot kills with shotguns. The next reward is the gunfire calling card, and for this we need to get 10 hipfire operator kills with shotguns. So a hipfire kill is obviously getting a kill while not aimed down sight with a weapon. There's no medal for hipfires, but as soon as you get a kill while not aiming down sight, you'll know it counts as a hipfire. And hipfire kills are very easy with shotguns, obviously because they do a lot of damage. You just need to be close to the enemy to kill them easily. So what I'd recommend is running up to an enemy to kill them by hipfiring at them. You can go to, high flow areas of the map, or if you're on an objective mode, go to those objective points. On some maps it may be easier to run around the edge of the map to pick off an enemy as well, but yeah, it should be very easy. Just try and go up to enemies and hit fire at them. Just be quite aggressive with getting these kills, and you want to use your laser to see where your gun is pointing at the target, and as you move around the map or you run, movement will kick up the gun, hence the laser will kick up too. Obviously shotguns are more dangerous, so you can do whatever, but stopping your running before going around a corner will be beneficial because it will relax your gun, and therefore it's not kicking up in the air and it will be aiming where you want it to. Therefore you can more accurately position it to get a kill faster. So that's hipfires. They should be fairly easy with shotguns. The final main challenge will get us 1 hour double weapon XP token, and for this we need to get 10 one-shot operator kills with shotguns. So basically get a one-shot, one kill medal 10 times with a shotgun. Now for this you need to kill an enemy with 1 round or shot. You can't do 2, it has to be 1, no more, no less. Obviously if you shoot at them and it doesn't hit them and you miss, that's fine, but if you do any damage to them and then shoot them again, that won't count because it's not 1 shot. I'll also just point out now, it doesn't count if you shoot an enemy that dies with 1 round but has already been injured by something or someone else. So if they've taken a little bit of damage from somewhere and you then shoot them and they die instantly, that doesn't count as a 1-shot kill because someone else has put damage into them already. So the enemy needs to go from full health to no health, i.e. dead, by your shotgun alone. So what I'd recommend is getting close to an enemy with the KV broadside or whatever shotgun you're using will allow you to get 1-shot kills. You can either hip fire if you're close enough or aim down sight, and you want to ideally aim from the torso upwards to do more damage. Ideally the head, but anywhere from like the torso to the head is fine. Now you'll know when you get 1-shot kills as a medal will pop up on screen saying 1-shot kill medal. So it's fairly easy to know, and again you should have no problem getting these. I would obviously recommend overlapping this with aim down sight kills because you're doing a lot of ADSing here. And the last thing I'd say is just if you're struggling, go into hardcore mode where all the kills should be 1-shot kills as enemies have less health. So try it in core, if it doesn't work, go into hardcore and get your 10 kills and you'll be good to go. Then once you've done the 4 main challenges, you'll have unlocked the MX Guardian shotgun in Modern Warfare 2, but if you want to unlock the weapon in Warzone, here is what I'd recommend. So for the class setup, it's going to be the same thing again, the KV broadside with the following attachments. We've gone for the X10 modified choke, the ZLR Sport 8, the Hipshot L20, the Dash Bolt 60, and finally the Bruin Warrior grip. And for the perks again, it's going to be Battle Hardened, Tracker, Fast Hands and Quick Fix. And for the game mode for Warzone, it depends what's currently on. You ideally want something like Plunder, where you get infinite respawns, custom loadout and no gas cloud, or it could still be Vondel Lockdown depending on when you're playing. And if so, this is good because you get 8 zones like hardpoint multiplayer, it feels like a large multiplayer match, and you get custom loadouts, infinite respawns, that kind of thing. Well, now what strategy would I recommend? Well, if you're playing Plunder, you want to turn squad fill off so you don't get respawn with your teammates. You can go where you want to go and it makes it easier to get kills and respawn. And then depending on the mode will vary in what you want to do. So if you're playing Plunder, you want to spawn in, go to a high flow area of the map, so for example observatory or where you see other people dropping. Or if you're playing Lockdown, you want to spawn in, go to high flow areas near certain zones, not the most busy zones as you'll die, but somewhere with at least 1+ enemy nearby. And then regardless of the mode, what you want to do is go up to an enemy, aim down sight or hip fire at them until they go into last stand, and then because they're in that last stand mode, you can then do whatever you need for the challenges, be that hip fire kills, headshots, aim down sight kills, that kind of thing. So I'd recommend overlapping hip fire kills and headshots to save time. So once an enemy is in last stand mode, you can move the cursor until it's pointing at the enemy's head, then hip fire to get a headshot, the medal will pop up on screen, and a hip fire kill as well, because if you're hip firing you'll get both a headshot and a hip fire kill if you're aiming at their head. So I really like these because you can overlap them and you can get both the hip fire and headshot kills with just 10 kills, and it's really easy to get kills in these modes. Obviously you can then just aim down sight to get your ADS kills and so on. Now if you're struggling still with this, stay in the plane until it reaches the end of the flight path before being kicked out, as you'll jump out with the inactive players. You can then just kill them when you drop to the ground, but just watch out for people who might be pretending to be inactive too. So it really depends what mode's in Warzone, but whatever you do, you want it to try and be one of those modes. If it's only something like Resurgence, then it's not great because you have to find your weapon or get a shotgun. So you ideally want it to be one of those respawn modes where you have your custom loadout. But that is my tips for Warzone. So once you unlock the MX Guardian, you'll want to level it up to make a good class. So check out my Season 4 Weapon XP guide via the card on screen and link in the description, and go watch my other Season 4 guides for unlocking other weapons, completing DMZ faction missions, that kind of thing. But thank you so much for watching, hope you found it useful. Be sure to leave a like if you did, and feel free to subscribe by clicking the bell icon to stay up to date with all my latest Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone videos. But thank you so much for watching, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.